I'm second guessing myself. That was definitely the 500. Apply. Now, hopefully with NVMe, it's not going to take very long. Well, that's happening. WaterBlocks. This is the one that generally fits the aesthetic, but I know for a fact that this one is better. Like, it's a chunk of copper. We're gonna be like a little under our radiator requirements here. So, mind you, this little arrangement here is kind of uggo. I don't think I want to keep on that. I think I'm gonna migrate this over. Gotta take the block apart to do it though. How's this look? This is where the water came up black. Don't know why. Have I opened, cleaned, and inspected this block since I last took it out? Yeah, I could use a little bit of a wipeout. My homemade 775 adapter. Hopefully that fits over this other block. Uh-oh. I might have fit it so... Oh, no. Oh, no. It's going to need modifications. Oh, for frick's sakes, bud. Now, I wanted to use this copper block because copper in and of itself, this block's so beefy, it pretty much has the ability to cool the CPU on its own. So many pieces to this. It's also the better block. This is the Supremacy Evo. The other one's just the Supremacy. And it's supposed to go like this. Usually I like to... The orientation's gonna bug me. I'll finalize the orientation once I know how the rest of the stuff's gonna go in. Like, we have to generally tear out what we're not using. Like this heatsink. Such a good tower cooler. Oh yeah, this right proper schmoot. I got a lot of escapage out the side here. Okay, that's polished up. I'm hoping rads even fit in here. Now, rads we have to choose from. One is my OG first rad I ever bought, probably when Linus was working at NCIX, from NCIX Hardware Labs. GTS Stealth. That's the slimline rad. It is very dense. That might look some pretty good in there. You're messing with me, right? You're kidding. You're not kidding. Okay, well, that one, it's too thick on the sides. It's not gonna fit in there. So XSPC, thick boy. I guess we're gonna have to reorient the fans, but oh, this one will just fit. We're gonna have to orient the fan like this so that this lead can come up, go where it needs to be, but the side here has to be completely flat. We'll just remove this one altogether. These are the fans I'm gonna be using. They're Gamer Storm. They were cheap, but really good fans. Got them from Canada Computers. So I have fans that match the ones that are in here, and these are even some better, like, higher speed PWM fans. They would do the job, but I found, I don't know, they just don't move air like these ones. Something about the design of this, it's like when I tested it, I just felt more general air movement through the rad using these fans, the Gamer Storms. The Gamer Storms are what I was using with the tower cooler, just red versions. Because I pulled these out of my main system, I have some more white versions to use, and this one's actually RGB modded. I got 5mm RGB LEDs and a custom wiring harness with custom power drop in here, so we're gonna hook that up and it's gonna look good. So the hope is, if we go like this, and we go like this, you know, I didn't even notice this Hero logo lit up because it's always been like covered by a radiator. Oh yeah. Come on. Oh, I should have had this go through the other way. This just fits. It's just slimline that it gets in here. It's like right up against that. It's even maybe blocking this heatsink a little bit. Can I get this through after the fact? No, we gotta do it twice. Or we just loosen that one screw and bring her around. You know what? That'll just make it to the CPU opt connection. And there's no room there. It's just like, wow, bud, wow. Now we're tucking an RGB extension in here strategically, or at least trying. I need to hide that before I put the rad into place, because we need an RGB line to come down to this water block after. And I always used to use this trick where I would like fish it in behind this heatsink area. There is like a gap in there. And this is just plastic, so we can kind of flex on it, right? Yeah, there you go. Just like that. Just have to strategically jam it into places. This thing's so long, it's probably gonna come down and connect to the header down here. Yeah, shiz. Where is that header? There's a header down there, right? Thought there was. Where's the RGB header that was down there? Ah, frick's sakes. You're not telling me you only have one RGB header on this entire damn board. Wait, no, what's going on here? Oh, it's shared with this thing up here already. Well, you're a doink. Okay, well, I got the old heat iron fired up. I might as well use it. I'm gonna have to use a little piggyback trick that I use. You know, I have these little RGB bits that I purchased a while ago for doing custom RGB. And if we're careful, oh, I can't do it from this angle. Just kind of like snip this line on there. So if you see what we did here, there's a bit of a shoulder on these connectors. We solder the wire to the shoulder. So then that's gonna go on the motherboard header. And then some in general can just continue going on there. And then that little daisy chain is gonna be a splitter. Now I just have to put one of those other headers on this end. And there, the other side, there we go. Quick and dirty splitter. Just heat shrink a little bit of this side. Don't need any fancy ends, just a little bit of heat shrink and you're done. So back in the case, it's gonna be a little bit of a contortion. But we'll just connect this onto here, minding the polarity, tuck her down, maneuver this guy into place, and take our other line and just kind of, oh, you know what? This has a little bit of an inset. That means this one that was originally on here, that one's going to be best left stayed on there. On our splitter end, we'll put the new inset cable, minding the polarity. Now we have an RGB. All right there, buds, actually hardcore computer modding. Not just frickin' some cable mods and a splash of paint. And if we look on the computer, it says my data migration is complete. That means we can go ahead and slap the SSD into place. I'm scratching this up because I just slide this thing down instead of taking it completely off. Oh look, thermal goo on my finger, that's wonderful. I can go ahead and get this fan ready on the CPU terminal. Oh, is this just not gonna clear? Yeah, it's totally gonna be a dick. Actually, we can kind of pack that wire up to here. Crisis converted. Crisis converted. Oh boy, oh boy. This might touch the glass, bud. It's like, oh boy. Can we example it with this guy? Seen here, a general thermal take tube res. It is the designated reservoir for this in particular system. We need to mock up the installation of the GPU, because I do believe I should be able to still fit this in here, like right around there. Question is, I gotta get these things into place. And these traditionally, I mounted them on the fans. Oh, I got that one to thread. Well, I have such luck with this one. Nimble fingers, bud. Nimble fingers. Line that hole up. Kind of hold it into place. Get a little something in there. Spin it till it bites. Oh yeah, we got it. We got it. Maker tightener. Now these screws aren't going to be super tight because the idea is like the mounting of this kind of averages out. And like that's how I did it before. It worked well. That's how I'm going to do it again. Now before you ask, yes, I do have a D5 and it's actually compatible with that res. I can just plop it on there. But I found in this system, this was a bit loud for my tastes. How I was doing it in this system, here's an EKDCC, PWM controlled. Now the big boys, they don't like PWM control. They don't know how to work with it when it comes to priming the pump. I do, I got specialty tools for that. I dial in the PWM on this and she's nice and quiet. Now I didn't have this thing before. I'm gonna try using this, just one of these. Before what I was doing is I had two hard tube fittings. You know, I just used two hard tube fittings and a little link. Let's see if this will time up. This will clock the way I need it to. Oh yeah, actually, that'll do nicely. I don't know what kind of vibrations I'll get from that, but boom, already in there. So we need a return going from the rad to there. I guess we're starting to tube up. Hey, you can thread, bud, it's okay. You're allowed to thread on. You know, this blocks like half of the intake for the power supply. Bust out our bin of tubes. I don't use fresh tubes every build. I'll use stained scrap tubes, like no problem. Like that's got a bit of green in it, but you know, that green's not going anywhere. That guy might work. That one's too long. I do look like I might generally have enough fresh tube to fresh tube this up. I might. We'll mock this up here because I'm envisioning a 90, which is gonna be tricky to get on there. It's nice I can just pop that in and out like that. We're kind of speed running this. A cigar cutter, I find, is best for making real fine adjustments. That looks good. Not putting too much stress. Like we can just tilt the res a bit to get the angle we want. Actually pull the res out. It needs a little bit more fine adjustment, but not like that. That sucked. Don't want to put too much force on that O-ring. There we go. Floats nice there. So how do I want to orient this? It's supposed to go like that. And then that's in, and then that's out. So we'd have to have one that goes in, and then that's not gonna work, bud. Yeah, we have to orient it this way for best results. We also need to get the Cooler Master hardware off of here. Now, if we switch these out one at a time, our backplate won't completely fall off on us. EK has these little nut washers that go there. And then this thing, well, it just kind of finger tights on there, which isn't always good because it means that thing can come loose. I've had it happen. Kind of need to just get a little bit of a bite on there. This isn't quite the correct tool orientation for this, but it is working. Okay. Now I'm fairly confident that this is going to be the CPU that lives in this system. We aren't changing her out anytime soon. So we're going to go proper posh styles here. For the PTM 7950 thermal pad. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, that's not exactly full coverage, bud. Well, it's going to mush out. She's going to spread. Slap. Now I just have these nice thumb spring screw dealies. Want to get this slice of RAM back into place before we forget and get tubes running over it. Oh boy, we blew all our 90s already. Oh, I forgot to put this into place. This is important. Yeah, I know where I'm putting this guy. Temperature sensor. I always like having a temperature sensor. Question is, will this time for us now? Almost. I need it a bit tighter. Oh, okay, this is a little alternative now. No, we gotta mess with it. Okay, I reversed it and it's still not ideal. If we put the top of the res sideways, everything fits the way it should. Just gotta get trickier to get in with the filler. That frees up a 90 to be used here on the CPU block. We got to arrange this tube just a little bit better. It's gonna, it's gonna block the RAM. Just has to go into the nook of the RAM here. Like tight, but almost. I just have to get that onto here. That should be perfect like that. It's nice, the benefit of these rotaries is I can take it off component and then just like, I can get, like this. Fresh pipe. Needs a little bit of a turn sometimes. It's like clocking these things and getting them where you need them to be. There we go. That feels good. That just slides down there. Now, of course, you're not going to get as nice angles. And one thing I'm messing up here is I don't have a drain. Like, I guess I do have some of these puppers. Like, I could feasibly rig up a drain. Oh, just doesn't time right. Now, you just got to kind of like work the tolerances here and keep rotating stuff. Oh, nope. This particular coupler in general is no good. We can try rotating the coupler around. Nope. Rotate the block around. Nope. So we try the different one we have. Oh, well, that works out. Okay, that feels tight enough. And then that's still going to go on. And that would go on here. And then this would go on here. And then a plug goes on here. Holy frig, bud. That's just going to barely miss the glass. I need to get the glass to size this up. Because that's two things now that are in question. Oh boy. Everything just clears. Wow. And that frees up another 90. Well, let's get that on there then. We struggle it on there, but eventually we have tube. Now just one more connection from here to here. This might actually get creative with these last two rotaries that I have. Or wait, I have another one, a 45. I actually have all sorts of 90s in stock. They're just not nickel. So if I have these two 45s, what are the chances I could 45 up to there, 45 down to there? They don't quite line up, but it'd be a real short piece of tube if it did. Like, we couldn't hard tube that run. We might be able to use this. Oh, look at that. We got little scrap pieces of tube here that we could use up. Fitting tubes to the WaterBlock is the most jarring process because, like, it takes a bit of force to get those tubes on those barbs. And then you don't want to put that force into the WaterBlock into the motherboard. Yeah, that might work well. It might actually work well to have a 90 there too. It's like, just pick your poison, bud. No, 45s would be better. I'm missing a piece though. I'm missing the sleeve for this thing. Oh, there it is. They look very similar to a soft tube fitting. Wow. I feel like this is getting chopped right the frick down. That or I just messed it up. Oh, I clocked it the wrong way. That's a tight run. It doesn't feel like it's putting too much stress on this one. It might be on this one. I feel like I made it a touch short. Yeah, fine tuning this last one is not going straight forward. Oh, I think I got it. I don't got it. Well, I think that'll do. I think we're good for water. Pull this card out. Get our custom pump PWM power supply with foot switch control. This bench is freaking hectic, bud. This doesn't look like it's gonna be enough water, but I do have some more in the reservoir. Oh. Oh no. That angle's all wrong. Oh yeah, I vaguely recall this was a little bit of a pain in the arse to fill. Need like a little piece of extension hose maybe? Okay. It's gonna freaking take a while, but if we're careful. Ah! You go too fast, it just freaking spills. Like there's nothing really important underneath of it other than a fan. But still, I gotta take this large hose adapter. This is my drain. We'll put it on there. Though filling through a hose never works. Well, it will if you don't get it to airlock. This is the best solution thus far. Oh, we airlocked. Come on. I should put a 90 on that intake. That'd be hilarious, but now, with foot switch control, you just blip the pump. I don't think this pump likes the PWM signals it's putting out, or the voltage or something. What's going on here? The hell is going on with the pump? Pumpy bro, just start up. What the hell? Don't tell me after all this I'm gonna find out there's something wrong with my pump. I don't have time today. It's possible the pump's been sitting empty too long, needs a little bit of coaxing. Yeah, it's not spinning for whatever reason. Wow. Okay, that's fine. We got all the time in the world. It's just 7:30. Hopefully we can just reuse this water. Still pretty clean, right? Okay, pump, what the frick is your problem? Can I just kind of like give it a little, I don't see any reason why this would be fouled up. Like, I feel like there's a bit of extra magnetic tension on there. It's freaking weird, bud. There's like fouling. I keep taking that impeller off and there's like black stuff. It's whatever that blackness that fouled the system when I pulled the water out and it was all dark. It's like it's compromised the surface here. I do believe I'm getting some of it out. Still, every time I pull it off, there's blackness. Okay, so test run here. Just kind of looped it all around. Oh, almost. It's like, just spin, bud. Just spin. Okay, well, this guy's clearly going to need some troubleshooting. Super weird, bud. That pump ran fine for years. Lucky for us, we have something resembling a backup, even though I'm concerned that it'll be a bit too loud. And it's clocked completely the wrong way. I swear I've had this on before and it clocked nice. Maybe a little bit of flippity-doo. Mind you, it does have in and out here, so maybe we don't even need the top. Because yeah, that's not gonna do. How the f are we gonna fill that now, though? Oh, this completely changes our dynamic. This project's been epically derailed. How the f did I put this in before? We might want to keep this in place so that we can get water in and out of it. That's definitely not fitting anymore. Oh, why are you such a dick? Why are you in particular a dick? It doesn't want to cooperate. All right, this is about as crisis averted as we're getting for today. We got this long dong tube coming around back into here. We needed another 90. I had a black one in stock. Then out there to the water block. That's not going to get in the way. It's going to be tricky to get water into the top of this, but it is what it is. Should have enough water to do this. Shouldn't need much more than a liter. We just need to carefully thread the freaking needle here. And it always just splashes up. Like, why are you such a dick, bud? Okay, we do it like this. Little hose at the big hole. All right, we got a little bit in there. Now, this guy doesn't have PWM control, but it has a little adjustment on the bottom. I don't think this pump's been spooled up in years. She works, though. We're gonna need more. Just kind of blip it through. We don't want to get too much bubble going on in there. There's a bit of freaking nasty noise coming from it. Let's get more water in there. Oh boy, this is almost a liter now. It's amazing how much water it takes to fill these big hoses, especially a big run like that. Well, it's not as loud as I thought it would be. I can hear the pump running, but it's not like mrrr. Yeah, it's pretty much a whole liter of water in there. Let's get this stupid thing out of here. Let's get something resembling a cap on top. Oh, by the way, we lose a drain. We're not gonna be able to put a drain on this. But that's okay because, like, you know, these hoses right now have so much slack on them, we could pretty much remove the pump from the computer to dump it out. So, and now this thing came loose. Tight, yo! Oh, now I'm hearing vibrations. This thing's only 500 milliamps. There's an adjustment on bottom here. It's on 2 right now. Whew. 1. Oh. I gotta find the ideal resonant frequency. Man, I wish I could freaking adjust that while it was seated. We'll press it hard against the case. Gotta find the acoustic profile we want. I think I found a nice setting there. Okay, I tweaked on it. Definitely louder. A little bit of finagling, it seems to be okay. Got a final fan to cram in here. Oh boy, it's gotten busy up in here, bud. All right, where's my other screws? I didn't compensate for the fan when I spec'd this out, but I got lucky. It fits. Workbench is freaking haywire now, bud. Workbench is haywire. I'm missing the last screw. Well, I'm not missing it. It's right here somewhere, but it's just not yielding to my observations. 8:30. I gotta get going. Yeah, I literally do not have time to finish this right now. Oh, yeah, I had to drop everything, go grab dinner, or else I'd be friggin' screwed for food. Screwed for food today. But while you weren't paying attention, I got a couple of these final things here. Got the card mounted back into place. This tube is no longer ideal. Like we could shave a few centimeters off this and have it line up better, but I'm not gonna officiate this until I know, because this pump is a little bit louder than I'd like it to be. It's like if we tweak on it, we can kind of hit a point where it doesn't resonate as bad or not. Whether or not those resonations are going to irritate me upstairs is yet to be determined. Got the RGB wired in, kind of sticks out there a little bit ugly. This fan's on now. This computer should be ready to fire up. I'm gonna get the this thing plugged in. I gotta find a hole along bottom for it now. I should have done this while the card was out. All right, that's Molexed in the back. Okay, let's give it power. Oh, I bumped the button while my back was turned. No reason why this shouldn't work. And with these fans, these are identical fans to the ones that were in there before. Oh, look, they're glowing. They're glowing, bud. Look at that. This thing should like just pick up right where I left it. Even though that doesn't sound promising. Oh, no, that's just Windows boot. Our software has turned these fans off. We got this thing here, which acts as a temperature readout. It's at 3740 right now. That's probably the CPU. These fans are going to be damn near silent. It's this frickin' pump that's bugging me. I don't usually hard mount pumps for this reason. I keep thinking I have it and then, ugh. Yeah, see, the DCC was quieter. So whether or not that's going to annoy me or not, like, oh, praise be the D5, which is generally accepted as being the superior pump. But I typically don't have them integrated onto a res like that. I'll put them separate, unless I float it, which I've done before. When I used this in a build, I had it on a bed of foam. I can freaking hear it from here, bud. I'm nowhere near it. This is some firmer foam here. Maybe if I could just, That is preventing a bit of resonation, and it's not completely blocking that fan. That's gonna drive me nuts though. Well, it depends on how bad I can hear it from where I'm chilling. Probably not much while I'm in game. It says the CPU, is that CPU or water temperature? 2930. Because I have a water temperature gauge on here, and at one point, I did notice my water temperature would show up on here. That's such a big chunk of copper, bud. That's just gonna like, it's not even warm to the touch yet. These fans are going dead slow right now though. It occurred to me that if I water cool this, I would probably be able to get a rad in here, like a 360 if I put the WaterBlock on there. And like a 25 mil rad, that would be roughly double what these things are. This thing doesn't bottom out. 50 mil, actually 50 mil would bring us right up to the end of this. So technically, a 25 mil rad would just physically fit right under here. So that means if we did put a WaterBlock back on this, we probably would be able to fit. That's something I'm thinking of doing, even though like I don't want to, because, oh, you know what? It wouldn't clear this pump. Huh. I do have a 25 mil 240. You know, you think this would keep that card cool? We're gonna take this pupper off its hot box here. Oh, little bit of bubble nation, because these do exaggerate noise. A little bit more of a solid footing. So let's put this back into place. I wonder if I jam like a piece of, actually I don't even think that's thick enough. Block the fans, bud. Now mind you, there's a sweet spot there we could like maybe nope. A little bit of force. Just put a little bit of acoustic dampening, you know? There's still wetness down here. There's some on this foot. Well, I don't know. Either I'm going to get myself a replacement DCC so that I can do this as intended, or I might consider, I don't know, if I decide to keep a D5. Ugh. I can hear it. I can hear it. I need to get a different pump head for that D5 or something. Or maybe you just get a D5 with PWM and then you fine tune it up and down there, and then you find that sweet spot. Because like what happens is the vibration from the pump can resonate certain components in the case or the case itself. So if you find that sweet spot that doesn't cause resonation, it can actually be quite faster than it is now. But that entails being able to adjust this guy while it's mounted, which you can't do. I can't get under there. I gotta pull it out. Where's that motor adjustment? Right there. Almost want to freaking blow a hole through the bottom of the case here so I can get at it. It's like there's almost a spot. Like, if I was willing to break off the freaking retainer clip that holds the air filter in. Oh, we gotta kick it old school. Get under there and finagle on it. Maybe I should pull the PWM pump out of my main rig. It's easier to adjust on that. Not that it can't, like, on this thing, you know? You can just, like, pop it out. It's just in and out and in and out. It's like, oh, there's still bubbles in there, bud. It's actually set a little bit faster and find it's not as noisy. Okay, well, I don't know. Press the button and does she turn down? Uh-oh, that's a bad sign. She might not be booted. Press hold. Which is always a disaster because pressing and holding to turn off the computer does this stupid thing on an Asus board where it resets your BIOS. Well, hopefully this pupper's still working properly after all this confuggling. Thermal tuning, definitely not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe this isn't the end of this video. If that's the case, well, you know what to do. Stay tuned to find out what I do next. But in the meantime, I have a Starfield addiction I need to tend to. Need my fix for today before it gets any later and I have no freaking time. As soon as you turn on that game, it's like you gotta have at least 3 hours or something. I don't know.